Hello, this is our Voice Stories channel.
It's urgent. You need to come home. They called 4 times in 2 minutes. I was in the middle of a presentation, our biggest client of the year. When Mom's name flashed again, I stepped into the hallway. Her voice was tight. You need to come home right now. Her tone said emergency. My chest said panic. I'm Harper Lane, 32, senior analyst. The kind of person who never ignores that kind of call. I left my laptop open, slides half finished, and sped through every red light, heart pounding. Dad's heart condition. Mom's diabetes. I braced for flashing lights, for an ambulance, for something unthinkable. But when I pulled up, both their cars were in the driveway. The house looked normal. No sirens, no paramedics. Mom opened the door, hair perfect, face composed. From now on, she said, you'll hand over your bonuses to your sister. Dad muted the TV. She's struggling. Do your duty. It wasn't an emergency. It was a shakedown. I stood there gripping my keys, the word urgent echoing in my skull. This was the crisis, my sister's rent. Emily, Mom warned, don't make this difficult. I laughed once, sharp. You called me out of work for this? Her expression didn't soften. Dad leaned forward, beer in hand. You've done well. It's time to give back. Give back, as if success meant servitude. Brianna had dropped out of college twice, burned through 4 jobs, and somehow I was the one who owed her. The golden child with hollow hands. I said no, I told them. And then again, louder. Dad slammed his beer on the table. Ungrateful. Mom's face twisted. After everything we've done for you. They meant, after raising me, after doing the bare minimum, after molding me into their provider. I walked out shaking. By the time I reached Pasadena, 19 texts were waiting. Mom told me what you said. You're heartless. I need $11,000 or I'll be homeless. The same number repeated like a curse, $11,000. Half my savings. Half my peace. I typed a single sentence, don't text again. But the night didn't let me rest. I kept replaying every moment, every time Mom asked, why can't you be more like your sister? Every birthday Brianna ruined with rehearsed tears. Every backhanded compliment that ended with, you're so lucky, Emily. Lucky. Lucky to work 60 hours. Lucky to be their emergency fund. Then another buzz. Tessa, we've been in an accident. Dad's in critical condition. Please send $11,000 for the hospital. The same number. The same script. Even fear had a price tag. They didn't raise me. They invested in me, and now they wanted returns. The messages kept coming, louder, more desperate. Dad's in critical condition. They won't treat him without money. Please, Emily, $11,000 right now. The number again. Always the number. I froze in my kitchen, phone glowing like an alarm. My heart said run. My head said check. I called Riverside Community first. Daniel Lane, car accident, maybe an hour ago? The nurse typed, paused. I'm sorry, ma'am. No patient by that name. I called another hospital. Then another. Nothing. No Daniel Lane anywhere. By the 4th call, my pulse had gone still. They lied. They used death as a password to my savings. I didn't cry. Didn't scream. Something inside me switched off. I opened my laptop, 10:03 a.m. Bank accounts. Insurance. Investments. I downloaded every statement, every record. Proof that my life was still mine. At 2 a.m., I froze my credit cards, changed passwords, switched my number. At 3 a.m., I emailed HR in Barcelona, subject line, transfer acceptance. The job offer I'd ignored for a year had just become my escape route. By sunrise, I had a plan. I listed my condo, called a realtor, scheduled my car sale. Packed 2 suitcases, a carry-on, and a folder labeled freedom. When the bank opened, I was first in line, transferring every dollar into a new account. No joint access. No traceable link. By 9, I was driving to LAX with the windows down. No music, just silence, loud and clean. I remembered when Barcelona was first offered. Mom had said, "Don't go too far. Brianna needs you." So I'd stayed. I thought family meant proximity. Now I knew it meant chains. At the terminal, my hands trembled, not from fear, but release. One boarding pass. One way. No forwarding address. At 11:30, my flight lifted off. I didn't look back. Didn't send a text. Didn't explain. Let them call it betrayal. I called it survival. When the wheels left California soil, I realized something strange. I wasn't running from them. I was returning to myself. The seatbelt light blinked off. I opened the window shade. The sky looked like forgiveness. When the plane touched down in Barcelona, the air smelled of citrus and rain. Announcements echoed in Catalan. For the first time, no one knew my name, and that anonymity felt sacred. Barcelona smelled like sea salt and espresso. The city hummed in a language my pain didn't understand. For weeks, I spoke only in smiles and silence. Work came quickly. My new office overlooked the Mediterranean. No one there called me selfish. No one asked for my paycheck. Then one morning, 92 missed calls, 67 texts, 4 emails. Sender, Lane Family Legal Services. A Gmail address, not a firm. Subject line, theft of family assets. The body was chaos, legal consequences, financial abuse, court summons. No letterhead, no citations, no shame. I read it twice, strangely calm. Then I checked my banking app. Every cent was still there. Relief slid through me like sunlight through blinds. They hadn't touched a thing. They just wanted to scare me back. Next came the voicemails, Mom's voice cold, clipped. "Emily, stop this nonsense and call us immediately." Then Dad, "Your mother's having a breakdown because of you." 6 voicemails from Brianna, swinging between sobs and threats. I deleted them all. Every one. Then I laughed, loud, alone, in my tiny kitchen. Tiles cool beneath my bare feet, sea breeze pushing the curtains. That laughter felt dangerous. It sounded like a lock finally clicking open, the sound of a woman unclenching. I brewed coffee and stepped outside. Barcelona glittered like a promise. Boats winked in the harbor. Gulls scribbled across the sky. They could forge fear, guilt, fake emergencies, but they couldn't fake control anymore. Not here. Not now. Days passed. The messages slowed. Silence returned, and it belonged to me. But freedom has an echo. It asks hard questions. Why did I ever believe they loved me? Because I was trained to earn affection, to confuse obedience with care, silence with peace, money with love. On the metro home, I watched strangers sway together, live separate, untouched. No one asking for my balance. I exhaled like leaving a church. At sunset, I walked the harbor path. Fishermen mended nets. Kids chased foam along the stones. This, I thought, is what family should sound like. The air smelled of salt and diesel. The water burned gold under the falling sun. Every ripple looked like closure. My jacket snapped in the wind. I whispered to the sea, "You don't owe them anything anymore." A week later, a real letter arrived, letterhead, bar number, polished threats. Wrongful withholding of support funds. I forwarded it to my attorney. He called laughing. "They have no case. They're hoping you'll panic and pay." I watched the horizon soften to blue. I didn't feel guilty for being safe. I felt new. I turned toward home, heart steady, address unknown. It started with another letter, cream envelope, familiar handwriting, no return address. Mom's cursive looping across the front. I almost tossed it, but curiosity wins sometimes. Inside, 8 pages, front and back. A masterpiece of guilt. Page 1, the history of my ingratitude. Page 2, every meal they ever paid for. Page 3, Brianna's suffering priced in dollars. By page 6, they were rewriting our family. They called my independence financial cruelty. My silence, emotional abuse. And the final paragraph, if you send us $50,000, we can rebuild this family. Otherwise, you'll regret this forever. I read it twice. Then I laughed, the same laugh that once scared me, the kind that meant I'm done. I fed the pages into my office shredder. One by one, the hum of blades sounded holy. White confetti fell like snow over a grave. For every shredded line, a piece of their control disappeared. I watched until nothing was left. Then I poured coffee, sat on the floor, and breathed peace. For 32 years, they'd trained me to apologize for existing. Every choice had a price tag. Every act of love, a receipt. But that morning, I understood, you can't buy love from people who only sell conditions. I called my therapist. I just shredded a letter, I said. She wanted $50,000 to fix our relationship. My voice didn't shake. What do you feel right now? She asked. Nothing, I said. Or maybe relief. That's not nothing, she told me. That's freedom. That word lingered long after the call. Freedom, not the escape kind. The earned kind. That evening, I walked to the beach. Tourists laughed in the surf. A couple argued about ice cream flavors, real problems, normal problems. I dug my toes into the sand. The sea was cold. Honest. It didn't ask for anything. Behind me, the city glowed alive. Not a single light belonged to my past. I whispered to the waves, this is what survival sounds like. And for the first time ever, I didn't feel like someone's daughter. I felt like myself. The tide rolled higher, washing my footprints away. Every mark they left, gone. I smiled at the water and thought of the girl who used to beg to be loved. She was gone too, finally resting. The wind caught my hair, and the city lights flickered like forgiveness. They called it betrayal. I called it beginning. 5 years later, I woke to rain on glass. Barcelona rain, soft, steady, cleansing. Raphael was in the kitchen making coffee. Our daughter, Aria, sat on the floor stacking wooden blocks. Her laughter filled the apartment like sunlight. Sometimes I still think about that other girl, the one who mistook obedience for love, who thought silence kept families whole. She doesn't live here anymore. Here, mornings smell like espresso and cinnamon. Bills get paid because I earned them. No one demands access codes. When Aria tugs my sleeve and asks for a story, I tell her about courage, about choosing yourself before the world tells you not to. I don't mention my parents. She doesn't need to inherit my ghosts. Last week, another letter came from California. No return address. Just handwriting I'll never forget. I didn't open it. I didn't need to. I dropped it into the recycling bin, right between grocery ads and pizza flyers. Some goodbyes don't need punctuation. In therapy, I learned forgiveness isn't always letting them back in. Sometimes it's just letting yourself leave. I don't hate them anymore. Hate keeps you tethered. Indifference, that's freedom. Mom, the sun's back. Aria called from the window. She was right. Light broke through the storm. I watched her dance in the living room, barefoot, fearless, whole, and made a quiet promise, she'll never have to buy love to earn it. Raphael kissed my shoulder. The world felt quiet again. Not empty, just peaceful. I looked at the skyline. The city glowed gold, alive. A life I built. A life I own. No one can claim it. No one can take it. Because peace isn't given. It's claimed. If you've ever had to walk away to save yourself, you're not alone. Tell me, what did your freedom look like?
Goodbye.